Welcome everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at NetCom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's event, CEH v12 First Look by NetCom Learning Ethical Hacking Free Course. And presenting today's topic is Sheikh Rashid. Sheikh has been working as a cybersecurity trainer for the last 12 years. He is experienced in training and preparing clients for various global certifications related to network, security, and cloud. Sheikh is a Microsoft certified trainer, EC-Council certified instructor, and certified cybercrime intervention officer. Now, please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored to your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. NetCom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. And today's presentation is from the security practice area. NetCom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio of courses for the topic being covered today. Our upcoming classes include various trainings on the given courses. You can also access a variety of marketing assets, such as the free training and blogs, by clicking on the available event handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. In this session, we will learn about the core skills of managing, designing, safeguarding, and implementing cybersecurity technology systems, and many more. And now I would like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to view in full screen by clicking on the full screen button on the right side of the GoToWebinar viewer. Simply hit the escape key to exit the full screen. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. And to get the best out of today's events, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the handout section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we do realize that some of you may have to leave early and want to let you know that as you do leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to take a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. And now I'd like to pass this over to our trainer to present today's topic. Hey Sheikh, thanks so much for joining us today.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to today's master class on CEH v12. This is Ethical Hacking Free Course. If I talk about myself, my name is Sheikh Rashid Javed. I am certified EC-Council instructor. I am Microsoft certified trainer, cybercrime intervention officer, and also certified AI trainer. And I was also a part of Cisco Networking Academy. So if it comes to EC-Council, I have been delivering this course almost most of the places. I traveled to a lot of places where I have delivered this training as a master class also from EC-Council. So this is a very important certification when it comes to ethical hacking. This is needed if you want to start your career in cybersecurity. So today in this webinar, we are going to understand some of the important concepts which we need to understand to get started with cybersecurity. So this is ethical hacking free course, and CEH v12 is the latest version. So the agenda for the day is we're going to get started with footprinting and reconnaissance. And then we'll see what is social engineering, what are the concepts in social engineering, and what are the techniques. Then we'll see what is DOS or DDoS, what are the various techniques. Then we'll see session hijacking techniques. Then we'll see web application attacks, cloud computing concepts. Then I'll take if you guys have any question on any of those topics, I'm going to take it and answer it based on my experience, whatever I have. So it has been almost, I would say 10 plus that I have started my career working as a network engineer. Then I worked as with a university as an assistant professor. Since then, I have been doing a little bit of freelancing, and it has been 7+ years I work as a trainer. And my area of interest is network security and cloud. Almost 20+ global certifications, which I have, and they're all related to network security and cloud. So let's get started here with footprinting and reconnaissance. So this is the first step of an attack on information systems, in which attacker collects information about the target network to identify various ways to intrude into the system, to get or to intrude into the system. So there are a lot of reasons why we do footprinting. So if it's an attacker, he also does information gathering. Footprinting, reconnaissance, this is information gathering. If I want to target someone's network, or if I want to attack someone as an individual, then I need to first gather information about the target, because I need to find what are the various ways to get inside the target. I am trying to reduce my focus. So these are the objectives which we are going to see, but two types of footprinting. One is passive and one is active. So active, when I am in touch with the target. So if I need to know about my target, I'm going to call the target. I'm going to call that person, or I'm going to send them an email. So I am in touch with the target. That is active footprinting. But passive, if I want to know about my target, I'll go to the social media, I'll create a fake profile, I'll go to LinkedIn, I'll go to Facebook, I will know about them, so the target is not aware about me searching about the target. So I'm not maintaining any touch with the target. That is passive footprinting. So what is the information we obtain in footprinting? We can obtain a lot of information. So if we talk about the information which we obtain in information gathering, so one is the organization information. So as an attacker, since we are learning ethical hacking, but if it is a hacking which is done by the attacker, here also the first step would be to do information gathering about the organization, employee details, their phone numbers, their location, the background of the organization, what web technology they use, and network information. So as an attacker, I am going to obtain the network information of the organization. What are the domains? What are the subdomains? What are the network blocks? What's the IP address? I can use whois database. I can get DNS information, and also about the system information. I can get operating system. I can get location of web servers. I can get users, I can get passwords. And what's the objective of the footprinting? So knowledge of the security posture. I will come to know how secure that organization is, because as an attacker, I will always try to see if there's any weakness in the security of the organization. I am trying to reduce my focus area with footprinting. I am trying to find if there's any loophole, if there's any weakness in the target. I am going to draw a network map so that it will be easy for me to plan my attack. There are a lot of tools. ZenMap has it. Polasoft has a tool which is very nice, where it gives us an overview of a network so we can easily plan our attack. So these are the objectives of footprinting. So footprinting, information gathering, reconnaissance, that means same, that we are trying to obtain information about the target. Now, what are the various techniques of doing footprinting, or what is the methodology? So here, if we see, the first technique which we use is through search engine. If I want to find information about my target, so first thing I can do is search in Google, search in Bing, search in Yahoo, search in DuckDuckGo, search in AOL about my target. So here in ethical hacking, since we need to take a permission of the target, but there's a site by the name of certifiedhacker.com. Certifiedhacker.com. So what you can do is you can find information about this site by going to any of those search engines and see how much information you can find about this target website. You can also do advanced Google hacking. So what is advanced Google hacking? There is a Google hacking database. If you go to Google and search for GHDB, we're going to do a little bit of information gathering, but here we are trying to understand what are various techniques of doing footprinting, or what is the methodology. Advanced search. But before that, I'm talking about advanced Google hacking techniques. You can go to Google hacking database. There are a lot of search techniques. Like if you want to know what Google has in the cache about a particular site, you can go to cache : and give the name of that site. So Google will have some result in the cache which you can find with this technique. You can find, if you need to find which site is linked to a particular, so if you have, let's assume certifiedhacker.com, and you want to see what site it is linked to, you can use this keyword here, link. You can use related. What site is this related to? If you want more information, you can do info. If you want to get results from a particular site, you can do site : and you can define this. So it is going to get you the result from this site only. You can find all in title, all in URL if you want to find the result in the title only, or in the URL if you want to find the location. So these are some keywords which you can use by doing advanced Google hacking techniques. And there is a very nice site. The name is googleguide.com. So you can just search for Google Guide, which talks about all those ways of finding a precise information about the target. You're not doing a normal Google search, but you are doing a, customized search. It's not a default. You're just customizing your search. You're not looking for the general results, but you're looking for the customized results with these techniques. And this advanced search. So if you go to Google and search for advanced search, or you can also do advanced image search. So what will happen? It is going to give you a kind of a form which you need to fill. So you can define what kind of result you want. Let's assume you are searching for a flower. So in this advanced search, you can define what color, what size, all those things. Who is the author, from which place and all. So you can customize it. You have a form, so some sort of form where you can fill that I want a rose. It should be red. It should not be black. It should be this much size. It should be this color. So you can define all the criteria. So that's what attackers or hackers do. Since we have been ethical hackers, so we need to defeat them. So to defeat the hackers, we need to understand what techniques they use, because ultimately we are going to use same tools, techniques, and methodology what real hackers use, but we use it for a good purpose. Our intention is good. Attackers might have a bad intention. So another technique is finding the company's top level domain and subdomain. So you have a lot of tools. There's a netcraft which you can use. There's also a toolbar which you can attach or get it as an add-on on your browser. So what will happen? When you go to any site, you can check the ranking, you can check the reputation, you can get a lot of information about a particular site. And you can also use sublister. This is the tool which you're going to use in Parrot. Earlier we used to have Kali Linux. Now we are using Parrot in the lab, where all those tools will be available for you to test them. So you can also download this from the GitHub. And when you start using this tool, it is going to give you all the domains and the subdomains of an organization. Let's assume we have google.com. So marketing.google.com, hr.google.com, sales.google.com. So it's going to give you all the company's top level domain and subdomains. There are other tools also. By the end, I'm going to show you a reference where you can download, or at least you can come to know what are various tools available to you. You can also find the geographic location of the target. So you can use Google Earth, you can use Google Map, you can use Wikimap, you can use Yahoo Map, because sometimes when you plan your target, finding the location would also be important when you're doing some sort of physical attacks. Maybe you are trying to do some social engineering attacks and you want to be, you're trying to understand what are the various ways to bypass the physical security. So that's where you will be using these tools. And the technique is people search on social networking sites and people search services. So here you are trying to find information about your target. Let's assume it is someone, you're searching, your target is some people, and you want to know about that person. You might be going to Facebook, you might be going to Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, YouTube. And if you want to search about people, you have Intelis, you have Been Verified, you have Spoko. These are very nice sites where you'll be able to find information about your target, or maybe some people, some person. You can also do footprinting through job sites. So if you see a lot of companies, when they have some sort of job opening, they will define what they need in that person who is applying for the job, or they can also provide a lot of information about what kind of technologies will be there in the company. So attackers will try to misuse that. They might be going to Indeed, Career Builder, Dice, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, Monster to search about the target. Attackers might also do dark web footprinting. So these are the web pages that are hidden. It cannot be located using Google, a normal search engine like Google. but you need some sort of Tor browser or freenet, I2P, retroshare. So what these sites can do, they will be able to find all those sites which are there on the dark web. And there's a lot of illegal things which are happening in the dark web. You need to download a Tor browser, which is available free, and try to connect to dark web and try to understand what's happening there. Not doing something malicious, but understanding, because we are learning it for good purpose. We are being ethical. A lot of bad things, drugs, mafia, a lot of bad things happen on the dark web. At least you understand what kind of attacks are there, what kind of information is available there. So these sites don't have like .com, but these sites will be like unique. It will look like some hash. And you are being anonymous. It was created for a good purpose so that you are being anonymous, but sometimes attackers also misuse it to remain anonymous. They get a lot of information. They might be using VPN, they might be using proxies, they might be using Tor, and they might be hiding their intention. They might be hiding themselves. Determining the operating system. So, and the technique which you can use is to find the operating system of the target. You can find, if you go to Shodan or Census, these are very nice tools. So you can find more information about what are the routers, what are the servers, what are the IoT devices, what are the VoIP devices, what are the VPN devices, what are the web cameras. So anything which is having an IP address, you'll be able to find that with Shodan or Census. Or competitor intelligence. This is when a competitor identifying, you're trying to analyze, verify information about your competitor from a lot of resources which are already available on the internet. So you're trying to understand, when did this company start? What are the company plans? What experts say about the company? And there are a lot of sites which are available. BusinessWire, Alexa, Wall Street, where you can find more information about the company. Collecting information through social engineering on social networking sites. So sometimes what attackers do, they can also get information from a lot of other sources, like you'll be able to find information about using some sort of alerts. Google alerts are there, where if you want to set up an alert, what will happen? If there's any change, let's assume your target is someone, and if there's any news about that person, it's going to send you an alert. Or you can also check the reputation of the target. You can check the business profile of the site. You can get information using forums, blogs, groups, Usenets, news groups, and for social engineering on social networking sites. So attackers use social engineering to get together sensitive information from those sites. Attackers might create fake profile, and then they might use a false identity to attract employees so that they can reveal the sensitive information. Attackers can collect information about your employees, their interest. There are a lot of tools like BuzzSumo. It's advanced social engineering that finds the most shared content for a topic. Or you can also do some sort of search on social media sites. Website footprinting. So what is a website footprinting? Here you are going to monitor and analyze the target organization's website. You're going to find what is the software it uses, what operating system, what directories, what file name, what technologies. Or sometimes you can also mirror the whole site. We can also find the HTML source code. You can examine the cookie to see if there's any sensitive information, and you also are trying to mirror the entire site. So there are very nice tools like httrack and collector. They also have some free version which you can try and see how it looks. So these tools, what they do, they are going to mirror the whole website on your local computer, because you might not, you're not trying to spend a lot of time on a particular website, but what you do here, you're just getting it mirrored on your computer, so that you will have enough time to browse that site offline. So you are reducing that time so that you might not get tracked. Otherwise, if you spend a lot of time on a particular site, there's the chance that it might have the capability to detect that. So you're trying to avoid that. Wayback Machine, archive.org. So this is a very nice site which gives you the screenshot. For example, you want to see how YouTube looked like when it started, you're going to find it. How Twitter looked like, you can go to archive.org. It will let you know when it started and how it looked. So as an attacker, you might find information about the target, how they are trying to progress. You can also find information, email, tracking email communication. So these are nice tools, Email Tracker Pro, Infoga, or MailTrack. So what you can do with these tools, if someone sends an email, you're going to find how that mail come to you. Even if you're using multiple proxies, it will give you the list of all those proxies through which that mail came to you. And you're going to find the real source of that email, because sometimes people can hide the source, and they have a free version. These tools you can also test to see how it looks. You can also do whois lookup to find about the regional internet registries. So there's ARIN, there's Afrinic, RIPE, NCC, LACNIC, APNIC. So when you use domain tools or smart whois or whois.net, what will happen? It's going to give you information about the whois or the DNS information. So various records, if you remember, in the DNS we have various records. Right? We have A record, we have AAAA, we have canonical name, we have mail exchange record, we have name server record, we have pointer record, startup authority, service record, text record. You can all find that by doing the whois or extracting DNS information. Finding IP geolocation. So this is where you're going to find the location with the IP address. So if you get the IP address of any site, you'll be able to find the location of that site with the IP address. So that is finding IP geolocation information. And there are a lot of sites. You have IP location, you have tools.keycdn.com, you have Ultra Tools, which you can use to find location from the IP address. So you have the IP address. Maybe you ping some site, you're going to get the IP. Now to get the location of that IP, you can use these tools. You can also find the network range. Like, if you go to ARIN and you search for with a particular IP, you'll be getting the whole subnet. Who's using that? What's the ISP and all that? And you can also do social engineering, which we are going to discuss later, but you'll be doing social engineering, eavesdropping. You'll be doing shoulder surfing. You'll be doing dumpster diving. So eavesdropping is when you're listening to the conversation where you are not authorized. So it's unauthorized listening or seeing those messages, or looking over someone's shoulder when they are typing their PIN or password. You're just looking over the shoulder, or looking into someone's dustbin, the organization, because they don't save that information properly. So you can look in for those papers where they throw passwords or printers, or maybe when it is the last day of the month, they throw those calendars which have some sensitive information like passwords. Impersonation, you're pretending to be someone. Right, so these are some of the techniques which we are going to use when it comes to footprinting And we're going to see it once we finish this. So maybe if we have time, we are going to understand how this is done. Now let's understand about social engineering. So what is social engineering? Before that, if you look in the previous information gathering, there are a lot of tools in the information gathering. Like if we remember some of the tools which we have already seen, but if we want to understand roughly what are the tools you're going to use. So first thing is your Google hacking database, where you'll be using all those techniques to find more information about the target. There's also Shodan.io, which you'll be using for information gathering. There's a Netcraft, which we discussed. There's a Harvester. It's a very nice tool. We're going to find more about the domains and subdomains. So Harvester is a very nice tool which you'll be using in the lab once you go for this course when it comes to doing those labs. And you'll be also using follower walk is there. And there's also website informer, which you'll be using HT track, web data extractor, all those tools which you'll be trying to see in the lab. Path Analyzer Pro or Multigo is a very nice tool when it comes to information gathering. So you'll be using this tool to find more information about the target. Now, what is social engineering? So this is art of convincing people to reveal confidential information. So what is the common target? Most of the times attackers are going to contact help desk, tech support, system admin. Why this social engineering is being very effective? Because I think people are not aware of their valuable information and they're sometimes careless to protect it. So why your company could be vulnerable to this attack? Maybe you don't have a sufficient security training. Maybe you give unregulated access to information. You have your organization is very big. You have a lot of organizational units, or you have lack of security problem. So what attacker does, they will first research your company by doing dumpster diving or going to your company, and then they will select a victim. They will identify the trusted employee of the target company and will try to develop a relationship with the selected employee. Those who are not happy, those who are disgruntled, and they will exploit the relationship by collecting sensitive information. So that's where it is very important that we are human firewalls. And security is everyone's responsibility. So we could be a weak link in this security of the organization. That's where attackers will try to use various techniques to see if they can get inside the secure organization using people, using its employees. Various techniques, human-based, computer-based, and mobile-based. So what is human-based? So first thing is impersonation, where attacker is going to pretend to be some legitimate or authorized user. I pretend to be authorized user. Personally, going to the organization and pretending that I am Rick, or on the phone or through the email. So I'm trying to get some target information. I can pretend to be an important end user. I can pretend to be, from tech support. Or you can do it through wishing. So wishing is through voice or IP. Phishing or phone, when you call someone over the phone. Wish is fish plus wipe plus fish. This is electronic fraud using voice, telephone, or eavesdropping. Unauthorized listening of conversation or reading of message, or you're doing interception of audio, video, or written communication on telephone lines, on email messaging, on instant messaging. That's eavesdropping. Or looking over someone's shoulder, direct observation technique, to find pins or passwords or account number. It can also be done from a long distance with the help of some binoculars, with the help of some smartphones, where you're able to see what that person is typing, what that employee is typing. Dumpster diving, looking for treasure in someone else's trash. You're going to look in the trash bin of the organization for the phone bills, for contact information, for financial information. Piggybacking and tailgating. So what is piggybacking and tailgating? So there's a little difference. I am an authorized employee. I am trying to open the door. I have an access card. If you follow me, that is tailgating. So you're following me. I open the door. Door is open for a few seconds. You are following me and you got an access because of me. I was supposed to close the door, but I was in a rush. I was in a hurry. So what I did, I just opened the door and I did not close it. So you try to enter using my access. That's tailgating. But in piggybacking, you are going to ask me, hey, Sheikh, can I use your permission? I forget my ID card. Can I use your ID card? So that is piggybacking. So piggybacking, attacker is going to have a conversation with me, but the same thing happens. He needs unauthorized access. Tailgating, he's just following me and I did not see that it happened. So these are human-based techniques. A lot of other techniques are there, but these are the common techniques. Then computer-based. So computer-based techniques, we have phishing. When someone sends you a fake mail, which looks like coming from a bank, you click on the mail, you try to fill the information thinking that it's coming from bank, but it's a fake mail. It could be Zapier, it could be targeted phishing, where someone is going to target you, is going to customize the mail. Hey, Sheikh, you're from this company, you have been to this business trip, so I'm just going to customize it. So the chances are that attacker or also the victim is going to click on it. Whaling, whale is a big fish. You're going to send a mail to the CEO, CFO, CTO, all C-suite level. Farming is when you play around with the DNS. So what will happen? All the employees will go to the fake site. So technically you are catching a lot of fish here. Or it could be also a spam mail. You know, when you're getting some sort of spam mail, which is unwanted email, attacker might collect some information. Or pop-up windows. So what will happen when you click on the pop-up window? It might ask you to log in. It might ask you for the sensitive information. Or mobile-based. So what will happen in mobile-based? Attackers might publish some malicious apps with attractive features, or it would look similar. Let's assume similar to Facebook, similar to WhatsApp. And as a user, as a victim, you download those apps and get infected because you might not be getting those apps from a authorized store, but you're trying to do side loading, getting it from unauthorized stores, third-party stores. Or attackers will also try to repackage legitimate apps. So they download those apps, legitimate apps, repackage them on some third-party stores. So as a victim, you download them using fake security applications or SMS-based phishing, where attacker is going to send you a message. So what will happen? You click on the message. Because in our phones, we don't block those messages, right? This is SMS-based phishing. So these are various techniques. Sometimes some other techniques, we have is insider threats or insider attack. So insider is an employee who has access to critical assets. They use privileged access. It is done by the privileged users, disgruntled employees, terminated employees, undertrained staff. The reasons may be financial gain, maybe they steal confidential data, maybe to take revenge, maybe to become future competitor. So there could be a malicious insider, he's being terminated. There could be a negligent who is uneducated, he's just bypassing security. There could be a professional who has got a technical knowledge, he's going to sell confidential information, or there could be a compromised, someone who is compromised by outside threat. Why this attack is effective? It is easy to launch. Prevention is difficult. It can easily succeed. And it's easy for employees to cover their track. And it's very difficult to differentiate what is the legal action and what's the harmful action done by the employees, or it might go undetected for a long time. Impersonation on social networking sites. So malicious users gather confidential information from social networking sites. They create account in other people's name. Attackers can then create large network to extract information. Attackers try to join the target organization employee group, and they might collect some information which they can use in doing some other attacks. Like, on the social media, attackers create fake user group in the name of that company to use false identity. They invite those employees to the fake group. Users join the group, and users provide their confidential information. Attackers can use it to the crime. Identity theft. Someone steals your personal identifiable information for fraud. Someone steals your name, credit card number, your SSN, your driving license details, so as to try to impersonate the employees of the target company, so as to have physical access to their facility. So there could be a child identity theft, criminal identity theft, financial identity theft, driver's license identity theft, insurance identity theft, medical, tax, social security. That's why we have anti-phishing toolbar like Netcraft and PhishTank. So these are very nice tools which you can download. And what will happen with Netcraft, when you go to any site, you can check the rank or how genuine is that particular site. What's the rank of that site? Is it involved in some malicious thing? So you can attach this as a toolbar to your browser. Or PhishTank. If there's a phishing mail, you need to report it. The reason you are protecting others also. It's not you, but there are other people who is going to be protected by you taking that action, because you are going to report that email so it doesn't affect others. So social engineering toolkit is a very nice tool which you use to create some sort of attacks. Like, you can create a fake site and make someone to connect on it. So when they try to type the username and password, you capture that. So there are a lot of attacks which you can use with social engineering toolkit. There's also OFish. So OFish is a web-based portal to test your employees. What is their vulnerability to social engineering attacks? What is their susceptibility? It gives you an organization with a platform to launch phishing simulation employee on your employees. So in the lab, you'll be understanding about what is social engineering toolkit. You'll be using Shellfish, which is a very nice. You're going to see a lot of ways on how to detect a phishing attack. You're going to also see OFish, auditing with OFish. Another thing which we have is DOS and DDoS. So what is DOS and what is DDoS? So after this topic, we are going to take a short break. Let's see what is DOS and what is DDoS. So once we are done with this, then yes, we'll be taking a short break. So if we see DOS, attack on a computer or network that restricts accessibility of system resource to legitimate users. So attacker is going to flood the victim with traffic to overload. So DOS attack is going to target your network bandwidth or connectivity. In DOS, there could be a single attacker, but in DDoS, it's a coordinated attack. It is going to involve a lot of zombies, a lot of bots. So there are a lot of attackers. Now, three types of attack. One's a volumetric, which is going to consume bandwidth of target. It is measured in bits per second. So a lot of attacks like, UDP flood attack, ICMP flood attack, ping, SMUF attack, ping of death, those are volumetric attacks. But protocol is going to consume other resources like load balancer, firewalls, application servers. This is measured in packets per second. SYN flood attack, fragmentation attack, those are the examples. In application layer attack, it consumes application services, making it unavailable to other legitimate users. A request per second. Now we're going to see a lot of other techniques in the attacks, but here HTTP GET POST, slow rest attack, those are the examples. Now let's see some attacks on DOS and DDoS. So first attack which we have is a UDP flood attack. Attacker sends spoof UDP packet at a very high rate to remote host on random port. So what will happen? Server is going to check for non-existent application at those ports. It might give an error like destination is unreachable. So as an attacker, you're trying to consume the resources, or you can do ICMP flood attack, large volume of echo request. So what will happen? You send a request, it's going to reply. You do a request. So your idea as an attacker is to make this server busy, make it busy. So when a legitimate user is going to connect this site, it is busy. It will be slow to you as a legitimate user because it's under attack, or it might also crash. Depends on how severe this attack is. Ping of death. Here attacker tries to freeze or crash the target by sending oversized packet. If you might have seen when you use ping with -i, you can change the buffer. Nowadays, I think most of the operating systems, they will try to avoid this, but earlier it used to also crash the server. That's why we used to call it ping of death. SMUF attack. So attacker is going to spoof the source IP with victim's IP. It's going to then send the large number of echo to the broadcast network. So what will happen if I spoof your IP and send request to the broadcast network? So all the machines in the broadcast are going to reply to you, not to me, because I have spoofed. I pretend I'm you. Or SYN flood attack. Attacker sends large number of SYN requests to the target with fake source IP. So if I send large request to the target with fake IP, and target is going to send me SYN ACK, and it's going to wait for ACK, but the three-way handshake will not get completed because I've just spoofed the IP. Or fragmentation attack. So what is fragmentation? You're just going to send a large number of packets and you're just going to break it into small packets and sending them out of sequence. So the target has to collect those packets and bring them in a proper sequence. And as an attacker, your idea is to destroy victims' ability to reassemble the fragmented packets. Or multi-vector, when attacker is going to use the combination of those techniques in one at a time or in parallel. So botnet. So what are bots? They come from robot. So this is something which you can control remotely because DDoS makes use of botnet. Huge network of compromised systems that can be used to launch DDoS attack. If you might have seen recently, a few months back, or I think few years back, but that's a recent attack. There was an attack on IoT, making use of botnet. Okay, what are the tools? You have a lot of tools. You have high orbit ion cannon, where you can attack any IP. Use a selected port protocol. You can attack up to 256 targets simultaneously. Or low orbit ion cannon. You can flood the server with TCP, UDP, or HTTP service disruption. You can use Are You Dead Yet? Rudy, Are You Dead Yet? XOIC, hashping3, Tor's Hammer, Sloris, Pyloris. A lot of tools are available online, and it's very easy. You just need to download the tool, and you can see a YouTube video and start doing this attack. On the mobile, there's an LOIC, endosit is there, packet generator is there. So on the protection side, you have a lot of tools. 40 DDoS is there, DDoS protector is there, Terabyte has a DDoS protection, A10, 100 TPS. But this is a very nice tool, Imperva Encapsula. Or you have anti-DDoS Guardian, you have DDoS Guard, you have Cloudflare has a tool, F5 has a tool. But Akamai also has a very nice. Kaspersky has it. Nexus has it. BlockDOS has it. So in the lab, you're going to understand what is HOIC, what's LOIC. Then you will see what is how to do attack with Metasploit framework, MSF console. HPing3, you'll be using that in the target. And then you will see what is anti-DDoS tools. All right, so here we are going to take a short break and we'll be back after the break and we'll just continue our discussion on steps. So I'll see you guys after this short break. Thank you.
Sure, we are now going to take a 5-minute break, but before we do that, we are going to launch a quick poll that we want to invite you to participate in. Doing so helps us know how we can better serve you by telling us who might be interested in more information or in taking some additional training. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register.
All right, welcome back. After this short break, we were discussing on the DOS and DDoS attack techniques and what are the different ways this attack can happen. So to be in the defense side, it is very important for us to understand what could be the different ways an attacker can use or do this DOS attack. Now, session hijacking. So session hijacking refers to an attack in which attacker seizes control of a valid TCP communication session between two computers. Because most of the authentication will only happen at the stop of a session. So this allows attacker to gain access to a machine. Attacker can sniff all the traffic from a particular session and can do different types of fraud. Attacker steals a valid session ID and is trying to use it to authenticate himself. Now I see it is little difficult because earlier why it was very useful, why it was very successful, there was absence of account lockout for invalid session ID. There was a lot of session timeout, indefinite session timeout. There was weak session ID generation algorithms, or there was a small session IDs. And most computers using TCP/IP are vulnerable. There was insecure handling of session IDs. So we have taken care of a lot of those loopholes, due to which it is not impossible, but it's very difficult or little difficult to do this attack nowadays. So as an attacker, you might sniff, place yourself between the victim and target. You're going to monitor these packets. You're going to break the connection to the victim machine. You're going to take over the session and start injecting packets to the target server. It happens at the session layer, or sorry, it happens at the network layer and the application layer of the OSM. And it's different from spoofing, because in spoofing, attacker pretends to be another user. He doesn't take over a session. He initiates a new session using victim's credentials. But in hijacking, it is attacker taking over the existing session. So attacker relies on legitimate user to make connection, and then he's going to take over that. Now there are various ways to do this attack. Compromising session ID using sniffing. Attacker uses a sniffer to capture a valid session token and uses this to gain unauthorized access to the web server. Or sometimes attacker might also predict session token. If the algorithm is very weak, let's assume earlier we had some algorithms which used to generate the session based on the day, time, date. So it was very easy to predict. A lot of cryptanalysis tools are there. So attackers might be gathering a lot of those sessions, trying to check the session ID, and then trying to understand what is the pattern. You might also be doing man-the-middle attack to intrude into an existing connection. Attacker might split the TCP connection into two connections, client to attacker, attacker to server. Or man the browser attack, or doing cross-site scripting, where attackers inject malicious client-side script into web pages which are viewed by others. Or Trojans, changing the proxies in the user browser to send session through attacker's machine. Replay attacks. Attacker listens to the conversation between the user and server, captures the token, and then replace it later. Or using proxy servers, a lot of ways. And we have a lot of nice tools here. Burp Suite allows attackers to inspect and modify traffic between browser and target application. There's WASP Zap, there's BetterCap, NetTool Toolkit, WebSploit, SL Strip. So it's a lot of tools On the prevention side, you also have CXSAST. This does the source code analysis to identify, track, and repair if there's any loophole in the source code or fiddler. Security testing of your web applications you can do with this too. So on the labs, you're going to see ZAP, you're going to see battery cap, you're going to detect session hijacking with various tools. Now, web application attacks. So what's web application? It provides an interface between end user and web server through a set of web page. So web applications also have some security policies, but they are vulnerable to various attacks like cross-site scripting, SQL injection, session hijacking. And if you see here was top 10, it talks about what are the top security risks. So every year they will come up with the top 10 risk and how to take care of that. For example, injection, you might have seen like SQL injections, LDAP injections, where you simply type a query like colon or 1 equal to 1 hyphen hyphen hyphen. You're doing a Boolean attack here, making the condition true. So you'll be able to log into the site without typing username and password. Or when there's a broker authentication, session ID is visible. When there's a sensitive data exposure, so sensitive data is getting exposed. Broken access controls, or there's some sort of misconfiguration. Cross-site scripting, when a site is vulnerable to cross-site scripting, or there's insufficient logging and monitoring. Other threats could be directory traversal, water holding attacks, cross-site express forgery, cookie poisoning, clickjacking attacks, DOS, buffer overflow. So these are WASP top 10. So what is the methodology? So first attackers will find the service. So when attackers do the web application hacking, so first step they do is to find the service. They might be using whoislookup. They might be doing DNS integration, port scanning like Nmap. And then they will find, sorry, this was the server, right? Then they find the service. So first thing is to find the server using these techniques, and they will find the service. They scan the target server to identify common ports that web servers use for different services. Like, Nmap, NetScan Tools Pro, Sandcat, or trying to find web application firewalls like WAF. This is a tool which you can use in your parent to find what is the web application firewall, so that you're going to see what is the weakness in that firewall. So once you find what firewall, then you can also find what is the weakness in that firewall. And you can find that with this technique. Or you can also find what's the load balancer on the target web app. Because organizations use load balancer to distribute load on multiple servers. You can use dig yahoo.com or lbd yahoo.com to find what's the load balancer, so that you're going to find the weakness in that. You're also going to find the directories like GoBuster, Nmap has a script. You're going to find the web application vulnerabilities. You're going to use user enumeration, password attacks, Hydra, Medusa. A lot of tools are available there. And on the security side, you can do fuzz test. Fuzz is a black box test. It's a quality checking and assurance technique to find if there's any error or loophole in the web application. So in the fuzz, you're going to send large amount of random data, and you're going to see how the application behaves. You're just going to check the source code. So this is on the safer side, on the defense. You're going to find the source code review. to see if there's any bugs in your web application manually or using some automated tools. Whitelisting, blacklisting. So whitelist is a good, something which is allowed, and blacklist is bad, if something which is blocked. So you maintain a list. If you know what's good and bad, you're going to maintain a list. For example, if this is my organization, I know my employees use YouTube, so I can include YouTube, I can include Twitter, I can include LinkedIn, Microsoft Teams. So this is my whitelist. Or if I know what's blacklist, if I know what's malicious, I'm just going to block those things. The rest allow everything else. We can also have some bug bounty. This is some sort of challenge which is done by the organization. So if you're a bug bounty, so what will happen here as an organization, I can just challenge if someone is going to find a vulnerability in my site, I'm going to reward them for each vulnerability. So tools, a lot of tools. We have Acolytics, which is a very nice tool, which you can use to find if a site is vulnerable to any of those attacks. And Stacker is going to check if your site is vulnerable to SQL injections or cross-site scripting or other attacks, or BEEF, browser exploitation framework. It's open source pen testing tool to test and exploit web application and browser-based vulnerabilities. Very nice tools. Acolytics is a very nice. You can also define if you want to test a site for a particular vulnerability, you can define that. Cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgery, SQL injections, you can define that. And web application firewalls like Tor Defender, or there's also Coalesce, Barracuda has that. So you need a web application firewall to protect the website from various attacks. Most of the sites nowadays have web application firewall. So what are the labs? You're going to see a lot of labs here in this, like Nmap. Whatweb is also a very nice tool which you'll be using here to see what is running on the target. You're also going to see web spidering, to find a lot of information on the website. As a spider, you're going to use a tool to find information, to extract information from the site. Wasp Zap, you're going to see how to detect load balancers using LBD on Barrett. You're going to also find the directories like GoBuster. You'll be using that tool in the lab. MSF console also you'll be using here. And DAM vulnerable web application is one of the nice framework which we have, or it is going to actually guide you on how to do various attacks, because this is like a website which is vulnerable. It's made purposely, so you can test it. And Stacker, so you'll be using all those tools. All right, now what is cloud computing? So cloud computing is your on-demand delivery of IT capabilities where IT infrastructure and applications are provided to subscribers as a metered service or a network. A lot of definitions of what a cloud computing is, but it is actually someone has all the resources, they have purchased all the hardware, and they are giving you some sort of service. So they have all the hardware. For example, they have a big server and you need to host your site on the server. So you are just paying for that. You're renting it. So that's your cloud computing. Now, if we see the type of cloud computing services, we have infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Nowadays, you might see a lot of other services, but earlier when it started, if you are an admin, you know how to create your own infrastructure, you will go for this service because you know how to design a network, you know how to design security, so you create your own infrastructure. But if you're a developer, you are worried about how to develop an application, so you need an environment so that you're going to develop some application. You don't worry about what network, what security, then you go for platform as a service. But if you're an end user, you don't know how to develop anything, you don't worry about what network, or you don't have any control. So then you go for software as a service. Nowadays, you see security as a service, you see database as a service, you see anything as a service, but those are the three service models which we have on the cloud. There's also separation of responsibilities. So we call it a shared responsibility, because if you are on-prem, you'll be responsible for everything. You'll be responsible for networking. You'll be responsible for operating system. You'll be responsible for all those things. But once you move to cloud, your responsibility is going to be less. So in software as a service, you don't have that much responsibility. But in platform as a service, you have few responsibility. So here you have a little more. So you have more of customization in infrastructure as a service compared to platform as a service or software as a service. So there's a separation of responsibility. So the cloud provider says that I am going to be responsible for the cloud. So let's assume we have Amazon, AWS, we have GCP, Google Cloud, we have Azure, Microsoft Cloud. So they're responsible for the physical security. And we are responsible in what we store in the cloud, our data, whatever, customization depends on the model, but that is separation of your responsibilities. There could be deployment model. It could be a public cloud, which is open to anyone. So it is like a public cloud. It is being shared. The hardware is being shared. And this might also have a lot of attacks happen here because it's a public, it's being shared with everyone. But if it is cheap like Gmail, but private cloud could be a dedicated hardware which is created for you only, because you might be a secure organization like a bank and you need a secure cloud. That's why they can create a private cloud for you, which is dedicated to you only. Or you can make use of hybrid cloud. Maybe if you have a website, you want that website to be in a public cloud, but the database could be in a private cloud. Community cloud, which is shared. Let's assume we have 3 banks in my country. There is one bank A, bank B, and bank C. So they are doing the same kind of business and they'll be sharing the cloud. Only those banks or maybe some universities, they're like-minded. They are a community. A multi-cloud, when you take some services from Google, some services from Microsoft, some services from AWS, then you're going to make use of multi-cloud. Now, there's also a NIST also has defined a reference architecture for a cloud. There could be a cloud consumer, the one who is going to consume the services. There could be a cloud auditor who does the auditing. There could be a provider who provides the cloud services. There could be a broker which does service intermediation and all service aggregation. And there's a cloud carrier which provides the network. All right. So there's also some other concepts like virtualization. Cloud is based on virtualization, where you run multiple operating system on a single physical system. You're just sharing the underlying resources. We also have containers. So those containers, it's a package of an application. So all the dependencies will be available there in the container. It's very secure. You're just if you see in virtualization, you're in the virtualization, what do? You virtualize the hardware, but in containers, you virtualize the operating system. So in virtual machines, you run multiple operating systems on a single physical system. You are sharing the underlying resources, but containers are on the top of a physical server and you have a single operating system. You're just sharing that with all those apps, like Docker. Docker is an open source technology. Or it does container orchestration, Kubernetes, Docker. There's also serverless computing, where you don't take care of the server, but your cloud provider. Servers are there, but you don't need to worry about them because your cloud provider will take care of those servers. That is, being serverless. Now, what are the various threats? Okay, so on the cloud, so we have a lot of threats on the cloud. So like, there could be a data breach. Data loss, like data is erased, data is modified, encryption keys are lost. There's illegal access to data in the cloud due to improper authentication, right? Misuse of data by your CSP, or there could be abuse use of cloud services, insecure APIs, shared technology issues, when your cloud is being shared, so there could be some problem. Or if there's an inadequate infrastructure design and planning, maybe you, as an admin, you don't do proper planning. Loss of logs, malicious insiders could be here, or someone doing illegal access to cloud. Loss of business reputation due to co-tenant activities, or privilege escalation can also happen when someone is trying to attacker is trying to get more privilege. Natural disasters, hardware failures, VM level attacks can happen. There could be also a vendor lock-in where you are being, if you go to a cloud provider, you need to finish the contract with them before you move to some other cloud. Licensing risk would be there. Loss of governance, loss of encryption keys. Like, if there's a change of jurisdiction, if there's a malicious probing, someone is doing malicious probe, or at the hardware also, someone can steal those computer equipment. Cloud service termination can happen. E-discoveries and all that. Improper data handling can happen. If there's a modification of your backup data, or your, there's a loss of backup data. Compliance risk. A lot of, those same attacks which we saw on our physical infrastructure, they can also happen in the cloud. Social engineering attacks can happen. Password attacks can happen. Or attacker might do a side channel attack where they bring a malicious machine and they bring a machine and they will try to understand a lot of radiations. With those, they will come to know about encryption keys and all that using side channel attack, or in the cloud attack, SQL injections, DOS attacks, DDoS attacks, DNS attacks. So all those attacks can happen. Right, so that's where we have a zero trust network. So zero trust is a very nice concept. Microsoft also uses it on the cloud, and you also have a tool where you can understand how to get started with this. But zero trust is going to assume that every user trying to access the network is not trusted by default. So by default, because what happened earlier, we used to have those attacks because we used to have insider attacks because we used to create a virtual boundary. But now we don't trust anything. We need to verify the trust. Even the resources which are beyond the firewall, we don't trust them. Trust no one and validate before providing a cloud service. So to make it sure that there's a secure way of accessing the resource, you enforce strict access control and monitor network traffic. And there are a lot of international cloud security organizations like Cloud Security Alliance. They provide some sort of education. They provide knowledge on how to use cloud computing in securing other forms. And you also have like these tools here. Qualys Cloud Platform is there. Cloud Passage Hello is there. McAfee Envision Cloud is there. So for the containers also, container security tools, Kubernetes security tools, Kube Bench is there. Service application security solutions, Protego is there. So in the lab, you're going to see how to use the various S3 bucket enumeration tools. Amazon when it comes to storage, how to look in for what's there in the storage. Enumerate S3 bucket using S3 scanner. We'll be using AWS CLI tools here. All right, so let's go a little bit. We have a little bit of time, just 10 minutes. I'm going to show a little bit of how we do information gathering, which we discussed earlier. So on the information gathering, there are a lot of tools. Even if you go here for the OSINT tools list, and there are a lot of nice tools here. Even if you go for OSINT tools list, here you'll be finding a lot of tools which you can use for information gathering. You can get it from the GitHub. You can find a lot of those sites here. But if you also do without this, and you'll be seeing a nice framework here which talks about OSINT. So here it says a lot about those tools which you can find here. And the one which we had, OSINT framework, this is very nice, because if you see here, when you go to username, for example, you want to find a little bit about usernames, you can just go to the username, and you want to maybe find username search engines, go to this, and what is my name, and you'll be finding those sites. So this is a very nice, let's assume you are trying to find social networks here, Facebook, LinkedIn, all that, or you're trying to find digital currency, Bitcoins, it will give you all those sites which you can use for doing the OSINT. Terrorism, and you can find global terrorism database, or you can find, let's assume Google geolocation. So here you want to find Google Maps, it will just take you to that site. So this is a very nice site. Apart from that, there are a lot of other tools. For example, if we talk about, we saw Netcraft, and this is our Netcraft. So if you go here, you can simply find about a particular site. Okay, so you have resources, and you can just find here research tools, and you'll be find site report. If you go to site report, it will be giving you a report about a particular site. Let's go to www.certifiedhacker.com. So here, if I do a lookup, okay, it is finding information about this site here, so that I will come to know more about the site. Or I can go to domain tools whois, and here also I can find more about a particular site. Certifiedhacker.com. If I find here, I need to do, I'm not Robert, so here let's see, we have a bus here, verify it, go. It is going to get me more information about this. What are the name servers? What is the IP address? Now I got an IP address, right? So let me copy this IP address and let me go to IP2 location. So this is information gathering. Since all those demos are available on the labs once you'll be joining in this training, CEH v12, but I'm trying to show you how to get started, how to gather information. So here I'm trying to find from this IP address, I can see that okay, it gives me the location of this. I can also go to RIN, RIR, Regional Internet Registry. I can find who is using this IP range. So I'll be getting more information about who is using this subnet, their ISP and all those details. Or I can also use Shodan. Shodan is a very nice search engine which we discussed. So here I'll be finding more information about anything here. You know, let's assume I'm trying to find webcams. You can find webcams. And you can also find, a lot of information here. So it just gives you the webcam information. And we also discussed about Google hacking database. So if you go to Google hacking database, you'll be able to see a lot of those techniques which we discussed, search engine techniques, like files containing usernames. So this is the way to start using it. For example, you to go to search Google, and these are the files which have some Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So they're all available. The best thing is that Google hacking or docking list, if you find it here, you'll be able to see various ways of how you can do this. Like this guy here has come up with an article, so it talks about how you can start doing this, like databases, search engines, directory listing, webcams. So here you can do like copy this and you'll be able to see it. It doesn't allow you to copy, but you can just try to see if you can find it from somewhere else, so that you can simply copy and paste like these commands here: WordPress, FTP, Git, all those resources you can just find them here. Apache. Right, so this all information is available here. You just need to find it here. Google hacking, like Google Doc sheet here. So you have all these commands and tricks. So you can just give it a little bit search and you will be able to see how to identify exposed directories, vulnerability, all that information is available here. File types, login page, directory, Apache, this is how you try to log in. This is all different ways of doing a search. Webcams here, for example, you're trying to use it, you just go to copy, or you simply go to Google and paste it. You'll be getting some logins here to those webcams. In URL, sorry, it is the full URL. I just pasted only half of this. So you'll be trying to see some of those results and then you can just find them here later, but this is the way to give it a search. And another thing which we wanted to see here was like, Google Guide is there, which has all those ways of, how to do this search technique, and a Wayback machine. So Wayback machine gives you a screenshot of, all those things. For example, you want to see how YouTube looked like. So you just go to this YouTube here and it will show you how it looked like. Okay, so it shows you when it got started here. It is trying to find. So somewhere in, now how it looks like, so these are all the snapshots, right? So you can go to any snapshot here and see how it looked like when it started. So there are a lot of ways, but you already have, all those resources available. And once you join the training, so you can simply go to CEH v12 NetCom. See, it was detecting that, I'm doing something which is not legal, and you'll be finding a lot of information about this training. What are all the resources which will be available to you? Because once you join in this training, what will happen? You'll be getting access to the official book. You'll be getting access to those labs. You'll also be getting the certification voucher. So this is very important. When you join any training, you need to check what kind of support or what kind of resources are available to you, because to pass this exam you need to go through the book which will be available here. iLabs, this is very important when it comes to doing a practice. To be able to pass this exam, you need to go through those labs. There's also an exam voucher. Otherwise, if you just attend the training, you will have to bear this cost. So it's very important that when you check the cost of any course, you should also see what is available in that, what kind of resources, and also what kind of support is available to. That's very important. Or else you can simply go to CEH v12 brochure PDF and you'll be able to see the brochure from EC-Council, which has all the information about what is in V12, why you should go for this. It is ranked 1 in ethical hacking certification, ranked as 10, and what it is. So these are the 5 phases of hacking you're going to learn in this course. Since today we discussed some of them to help you get started, but you're going to learn all the 5 phases of hacking. So learn, certify, and complete. So here, module 1, you're going to understand introduction to ethical hacking. You're going to see in module 2, footprinting and reconnaissance. I try to touch it today. In module 3, you're going to see how to do scanning of networks, how to do enumeration, how to do vulnerability analysis, all the techniques, all the tools, all the tricks, how to do system hacking. You'll be knowing about malware threats in module 7, sniffing, social engineering. I touched it today. DOS, I touched it. Session hijacking. Yes, we try to see how it looks, but here you'll be going through all of those topics in detail. You'll be also doing a lab practicals on that, how to bypass firewalls and honeypots, how to hack web servers, how to hack web applications, SQL injections, wireless, mobile, IoT, cloud cryptography. 20 modules with very interesting content and all the practicals, hands-on learning lab. So 519 attack techniques. And then you get certified, right? So CEH, ethical hacker, you become a master. You are doing this exam, which is 4 hours MCQ, and then you'll be doing the practical exam, which is 6 hours. So you have all the information available on this brochure. It talks about what is there in this course. Okay, so there's a new challenge every month. You can just go through that and try to see this brochure which is available there. So common job roles, you can work in a security. If you want to get started in security, this is one of the most important exam you're going to pass. 125 questions, 4 hours, and you can write the exam from EC-Council Exam Center. So sitting at your home, you can do this exam, and then you can do the practical one. So it'll be master. And then you can go for CPENT, which is pen testing or penetration testing. Right, that's it from my end, and thank you very much. So I am here to see if you guys have any questions on whatever we discussed. Since there are a lot of things to be covered, it is 5 days training, and each day we have 8 hours, so it is 40 hours training, where we try to discuss everything in detail. Since we had only 2 hours today, or I would say 1 hour and 30 minutes or 1 hour 40 minutes, that's where we try to conclude here in the master class. So thank you very much. Now I'm here to see if you guys have any questions related to those topics. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheikh. That was very informative. I know everyone is looking forward to the Q&A session, so go ahead and start putting your questions into the question panel. And while you do that, I'd like to give the presentation rights over to Nikita Singh, our Deputy Manager of Product Marketing, to introduce our promotions and webinar-related courses.
Thank you for extending the opportunity to speak with the audience today. I hope the session was informative and it added value to your learning experience. You can watch the event recording by clicking the Access Recording button here. Now, I would like to highlight NetCom learning capabilities and why we are the best when it comes to training and learning services. Recognized by Microsoft as the winners of the Partner of the Year awards 2 years in a row, 2023 and 2022, we excel in guiding organizations to achieve peak performance while addressing their challenges through comprehensive organizational learning solutions. Our dedication since 1998 has led us to service over 80% of Fortune 1000 companies and served 100 plus US military bases. We have trained over 1 million professionals and helped 36,000 plus organizations achieve their business goals. We have a huge portfolio of more than 3,300 certified trainers who are subject matter experts in their domains, and our dedication to providing customized learning methods is why we are awarded as the top 20 IT training companies by trainingindustry.com. As you continue your cybersecurity journey, NetCom Learning offers a comprehensive portfolio of security courses to help you advance your skills and career. Being accredited training partner of EC-Council, I would like to announce our upcoming schedules of EC-Council training that you can explore through this handout. These courses are designed to equip you with the essential knowledge and skills needed to protect your organization from cyber threats and advance in your cybersecurity career. To add value to your learning curve, we encourage you to leverage our valuable marketing assets such as free on-demand trainings and blog on EC Council certifications. Access these resources to stay informed on the latest trends, best practices, and advancements in cybersecurity. We understand the importance of having a skilled and knowledgeable cybersecurity team. That's why we offer our comprehensive security skilling program designed to meet all your security training needs. Whether you're looking to upskill your teams or provide hands on experience, our security skilling program can help you achieve your organizational goals. Our program offers highly customizable training solutions tailored to suit your company's specific goals. We provide various learning modes, including virtual instructor led, private group sessions, and e learning options. Explore our security skilling learning path to unlock a variety of cybersecurity courses tailored to your needs. You can also take advantage from Learning Passport, which is NetCom Learning's solution to flexible team training. It is designed to be customized for the number of learners you train on top technology vendors like Microsoft, Cisco, CompTIA, Adobe, and more. The single package can be redeemed for over 4,000 plus official courses with a validity of 12 months. To introduce you to NetCom Plus Learner subscription, which is complimentary for all the attendees. And NetCom Plus provides you access to more than 400 e-learning courses across various technologies and vendors. I would recommend you all to visit NetCom Learning's website for more information on courses and certifications, free virtual events, our latest blogs and ebooks, and promotional offers. If you want to build a smarter workforce and drive business growth, I highly recommend you go through the book Building an Innovative Learning Organization by Russell Sader, CEO of NetCom Learning. You can easily find this ebook on Amazon. And for the latest updates on IT and business training, follow us and subscribe to our social media handles. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.
Thanks so much for guiding us through that information, Nitika. And now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our question and answer session. How difficult is CEH exam and how do we prepare for the same?
Right. So if we this looks very interesting question. How difficult is this exam and how to prepare for the same? So this exam, when it comes to if you go through the right resources, so the first thing is that you just need to go through the official book. So attend the official training, which is for 5 days, and each day is 8 hours. So 40 hours you got to attend the training, and then you'll be doing you'll be going through all the course content, you'll be doing all the labs. So this is very important for the exam. So if you want to pass this exam, you need to thoroughly go through the book, and then you also need to go through the lab, and then you can also do some practice questions. So the best thing is that all the questions will be from the course content. So you need to have a thorough understanding of everything, whatever is there available in the official course content. So the questions will be asked from that exam only. So if you are done with all those the course content, the lab, practice questions, then it should not be easy, because all those questions are like multiple choice questions which you can easily answer. So it's not that difficult if you have a if you did rightly prepare for the exam.
Which book is recommended for CEH and what about the labs?
All right, so when it comes to the book, so we have an official book which is already available. Once you join this training, CEH v12, you'll be getting access to the PDF. So you will have access to that book online, where you'll be able to go through the book. So all this is recommended. Apart from that, you might also see There might be some other course content, but the one which is official from EC-Council, this is recommended for you to go through the book so that it'll be easy for you to pass the exam. And when it comes to labs, you already have there's a lab access if you attend the official training. So the lab access would be given to you, where you will be doing all the labs from all the modules during the training or after that also. So everything, all the tools will be explained in detail in those labs. So this is recommended. Those are iLabs. If you go to the store, you'll be able to find, for every module you have a lab. So that is recommended. The official book and official labs.
How is CEH different from other exams like CompTIA Security Plus exams?
Right. This is the question which I hear most of the times, even while delivering the training. So when people try to compare CEH with Security Plus, so these are both very important certifications in cybersecurity. But when it comes to CEH, it is more specialized because CEH is more focusing on ethical hacking, advanced testing. If you want to make your career in pen testing, ethical hacking. Because Security Plus is going to cover basic cybersecurity knowledge. So it is a start. It's a starting point for IT professionals who are going to enter in some sort of vendor neutral certification. Because CEH is if you want to pursue a career in penetration testing or offensive security, comparing with Security Plus, which is for beginners, those who are interested in some understanding of security concepts. So in short, I would say CEH is advanced certification, but Security Plus is like an entry level certification, making it a good starting point for cybersecurity professionals. So if you are looking to have a foundational knowledge, go for Security Plus. But if you're interested in ethical hacking, penetration testing, you want to kind of make your career, you want to spend a lot of time, because there are a lot of tools, techniques in this ethical hacking, because I have done both exams, Security Plus and CEH. So here, if you want to make your career in penetration testing, because there are a lot of tools you'll be learning here, so it all depends on what's your interest level. Then you can accordingly choose. Thank you.
Once again, I want to remind you that as you leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to help us by taking a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience, as we are constantly looking at how we can improve our future sessions. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.